The EPA considers stormwater pollution the nation's greatest threat to clean water. Suffolk County and Cornell Cooperative Extension have been working together to combat this type of pollution in efforts to keep our local waters clean. One of the ways Cornell Cooperative Extension's marine program is doing this features the use of DNA coliform and water sample analysis to help municipalities make decisions regarding our water. We are now going to talk to Scott Curatolo-Wegman, our stormwater specialist, about the process.
The purpose of the lab here is to test the water bodies here and to usually educate the different municipalities where the water body lays about what's in their water. And the big one that we do is we do bacteria enumeration. So we can go in, and when there's areas that people are concerned about for either shellfishing or sometimes even bathing, we can go in and just get a water sample and just kind of see how much bacteria is in the water. And that kind of gives municipalities, a general idea of what's going on. And a lot of times that's all usually dictated by the New York State DEC anyway for shellfishing. What we do with coliform enumeration is it's the amount of a particular pollution or pollutant that you're going to find. So the enumeration in this case is bacteria, and a lot of what we look at is specifically E. coli bacteria, and that ties into with our other major project in the lab, which is the bacterial source tracking. But usually you want to get that baseline just to see where the high levels of pollutants are, and that's going to be your bacteria loading, and that's the enumeration, so that we can see where the hot spots are, of where there's going to be problems and where there's going to be inputs, so that hopefully we can educate people as far as what's going into the water, how they can affect it, and how they can take part in kind of managing the water that they all use recreationally or even for eating in case of shellfish. When we talk about illicit discharge, that's when there's something coming out of the pipe that shouldn't be. All pipes, in this case, the stormwater pipes, are meant to convey stormwater. Illicit means that there's something other than stormwater coming through that pipe. So illicit can be, by backtracking, it could be someone who doesn't even know that they're tapped into the system. Sometimes with some of these older systems, before there were rules set in place, people didn't know what they were, and they just kind of tapped into them as a way to get rid of their wash water or, in really bad cases, wastewater. So by detecting the amount of bacteria we're finding in water that, again, could be illicit in that it hasn't rained in 48 to 72 hours, we can kind of backtrack and kind of detect where that may be coming from to try to, better manage what's going into the bays and also kind of fix a problem that could be getting worse. Our biggest project that we use the water lab for is probably with the Suffolk County Stormwater program, and within that is going to be the Illicit Discharge and Detection and Elimination program. Now, the Stormwater program is a federally mandated program that comes from the EPA, so we kind of help them manage their program for the stormwater. And again, within that, we do the water testing, and that includes looking at all the outfall pipes or any county roads that may be discharging to water bodies. So basically, we're within every township within the county. We have about 300 different outfalls within the county, going all the way from the border at Nassau County all the way out to Orient Point and Montauk Point. So we cover a large amount of area looking at these different pipes that may be discharging stormwater, and then it goes along with that, whenever we find anything coming out of those, we are testing it. So we're looking at bacteria inputs from from all the townships within Suffolk County. One of the things we've developed over the years in response to, that's great, we know the amount of bacteria going in the water, but we developed a nice tool that would help us answer who. And that is our DNA component, and that's our bacterial source tracking. That is pretty much, I don't think anyone else on Long Island is doing. And it allows us to then answer that question of who. So that when we take a sample, we can then say, well, yes, there's this much bacteria coming from it. We can run it through our DNA lab. It's kind of like a police blotter of fingerprints. We can use that then identifying fingerprint for our animal database, run the water sample through, and it can tell us whether we're talking about a human here, whether they're talking about a goose, or we're talking about wildlife or a deer or something like that. The goal of this, hopefully with the DNA, is that we can then tell a municipality like the Suffolk County that these are the inputs. They can then take a look at those inputs, hopefully change that, and then provide a better area for recreation, for shellfishing, and then everyone benefits as far as even economically with the shellfishing. So a tool like this can definitely, benefit everyone from the county down to the public, and really, helps protect our waterways and helps us enjoy the best of this great resource that Suffolk County has.
The lab and the Marine Center are open to the public during the week, so if you would like to visit the facilities, give a call at 631-852-8660 to arrange a tour. Also, if you would like to learn more about stormwater runoff and how you could prevent it, go to www.suffolkstormwater.com for more information about Suffolk County's stormwater program.